Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Macon Middle School. Tonight, your Panthers will host West Henderson in the first round of the NCHSAA Soccer Championship Playoffs. Now we're going to take you to Coach Adam Talent as he introduces the starting lineups.
Number 1, Eli Conch. Number 6, Jackson Doshen. Number 7, Julian Martin. Number 9, Woody Green. Number 10, Corey Lanning. Number 13, Jacob Harrisburg. Number 15, Aldi Shelton. Number 16, Logan Jones. Number 21, Urban Valaforte. Number 23, Carson Payne. And their keeper, 00 Tucker Maccabee.
Can I get 2 slices of cheese pizza? Yeah, then a Fanta.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, your Franklin Panthers. Number 1, Luis Torres. Number 4, Aaron Jennings. Number 5, Pablo Montalongo.
Number 6, Noel Rivera Vila. Number 7, Brian Rodriguez. Number 8, Isaiah
Roots. Number 11, Caleb Pedia. Number 14, Ulysses Patron Perez. Number 16, Eric Nunez. Number 17, Jacob Martinez. And your keeper tonight, stopping them shots, number 88, Isaac Jennings. And your Panthers are coached by Matt Kolozic, Adam Talent, Ken Lane, Jacob Kolozic, and Juan. Now, if you please rise, remove your hat for playing of our national
anthem. Thank you. And let's go, Panthers!
And we just had the starting lineups in the national anthem. We're getting ready to have this playoff game get underway. We're a couple minutes from kickoff. I am Ken Neitz, the former varsity soccer coach at Franklin High School. Tonight, again, your Franklin Panthers will be hosting West Henderson in a first-round battle. They just played them last week here and defeated them 2-1 in a very tight game. Earlier in the year, they tied West Henderson 3-3. So we expect a very tight match today. First round of the playoff. Again, Franklin is ranked number 12 coming in. West Henderson is ranked number 21. If Franklin wins, they will be most likely be on the road next week. On Thursday. Barring an upset, they'd have to go play the number 5 ranked team, which I believe is Concord. So coaches are giving their last words of advice. Players are getting a little pumped up. And they're getting ready to take the field for kickoff. Oop. And joining me is Coach Adam Talent, the Franklin Panthers JV coach, and the voice of the Panthers. Coach Talent, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for having me up here tonight. Filling in for a few minutes, double duty, a little time on the TV and a little time on the clock, and that's what you do when you would coach.
And again, we'd like to thank you for joining our FPSN Sports Network, our Franklin Panther Sports Network, as they bring to you the first round of the NCHSAA playoffs. Once the playoffs start, Coach, you really don't need to do anything different. You just got to play your solid fundamental soccer. You're not looking for someone to score on a bicycle kick or anything like that. Just what got you here, and the Panthers were second in the conference and have not lost to West. But I never liked playing a team for the third time.
No, it's tough because you have a tie and then a win, and you want another win, but, your chances are tough. But with Franklin, and if, like Coach said, if we play the way we play, what brought us here, then we should be okay tonight.
Exactly. They got to do the fundamentals. They got to play their solid defense that they have played all year, and their back three I'd put up against anybody in the conference. And, yes, I did say a back three. Coach Kolazic likes to play a three-man back, and they are very solid there and very experienced. And again, Franklin will not try to do anything different. Ball sent in by West. Isaac Jennings, keeper of the year, defending keeper of the year, was able to come up with the ball. A little feeling out time here, usually about 5-10 minutes, but these teams really know each other. And usually the good thing about the playoffs was you're going to play somebody different, but unfortunately, Franklin drew West Henderson. I don't know if that's unfortunately or fortunate, maybe for Franklin, since they have not lost to them. But
well, you want somebody different. You want to change, see how your game stacks up against somebody that you've never seen before. I mean, if we've just seen West last week, and we would have liked it, but we know what we're getting. They know what they're getting, and they're at our house. So
exactly. And I also was looking. There was two other
deep pass.
We try to get Isaiah on the end of that one. Good play by number 21 for West Henderson to be able to clear that ball, give the Panthers a throw-in.
And we've had some very nice throw-ins. A lot of our players are, wherever they're learning it from, they're doing an amazing job getting that ball halfway across the field on a good throw-in.
Yes, I know there's a game here where the 2 goals we scored in a 2-1 game were off of throw-ins. I know Luis was able to get ahead on one of them. I'm not sure who the other one. I can't remember who the other one was. But, yes, it's definitely a weapon, and especially on some of the smaller fields that Franklin played on this year with other teams in the conference. But talking about the conference, I know North Henderson, who was conference champs this year, also drew Tuscola in the first round. So 2 more conference teams who are playing each other in the first round.
Yeah. East and Smoky did have to travel a little ways, so – hey, you can't beat. You've earned the right to play at home. If you played the season that we've had, you've earned this right to be able to defend our home first round of the playoffs.
And yes, obviously you had a very competitive conference. There were 7 teams in the conference, and 6 of them made the playoffs, which usually doesn't happen. But when you have 6 teams and 6 pretty decent teams, and you play a tough schedule, especially non-conference games, you are going to get teams in. And again, there's a formula that the state uses, and part of it is your opponent's record and who they played. And here's a good chance for Franklin. Here comes Caleb Peavy up to make a long throw in.
He's looking.
And he throws it into the box. West is able to head it out.
Would have liked one more body in there, but I think he was looking. What he was looking at was nice, but there's
We'll
one
get
more
across
person
the way
in
and a
there.
shot on goal. Matt could be able to make the save. I know you, Coach, you said last week that Franklin played West. I believe that was a senior night here, and you might see some of the painting on the field still. That was from senior night where Franklin was victorious 2-1 against West, but they can't rest on those laurels, and they got to come out. And I always know when I was coaching in any round of the playoff, it was great to get that first goal. Like, you want to be that team that scores that first goal and kind of dictate what's going to happen. Oh, West with a chance here. Ooh, shoots high.
Yep. Talked to a few of them before the game, just told them to keep their focus. You know, you can't start arguing early in the beginning of it. Something happens, you just keep your focus, turn around and get back into the game. And we got a long game ahead, and one little thing at the beginning of the game we can't let that change our mood or our focus.
Exactly, and you know, West Henderson really has nothing to lose here. You know, the higher ranked team that had to come on the road and play here, they really have nothing to lose because they're not supposed to win this game. So a little bit more pressure on Franklin, but if they come out and do the fundamentals right and play good, solid defense and can find the back of the net, they will be moving on and playing Thursday.
We were talking about you were talking about the 6 playoff teams from earlier. I know Coach K and me were talking earlier, and he mentioned when he met with all the coaches in our conference earlier today that they think that any team could take on these Eastern West teams that we have. That our conference has been that strong, that our teams are that good. Oh, watch him.
Oh, number 9 with a nice cross, and
lost sight, left man open, and can't have that.
And that number 9 is Woody Green, one of the better players in the conference. I know he missed a few games, and he still had 24 goals and 21 assists. Here last week, Franklin was able to neutralize him. I don't even think he had too many shots on goal, but there he was trying to be the distributor, and that's 2 pretty good looks that West had.
He was the assist to the cross for their point last week. It was him that made the assist to.
You are correct. That's right.
Yeah. So wherever he's at, you got to keep an eye on him. I mean, he's their best player.
And they have another goal scorer, number 7, Julian Martin, who has 19 goals and 6 assists on the year. And you guys definitely were able to keep him off the scoreboard last week. I don't even remember calling his name, so I know West might look for him today. So far, West seems to be attacking more from the outside, more to the right side, and working their way in, which is good strategy. Any team would like to be able to do that. But so far, the Panthers have been able to hold serve and keep them off the board. In the first 5 minutes, that feeling out period, everyone's going to be working up a good sweat on this chilly evening here.
Yeah, it's chilly. Layers and layers.
My watch says it's 61 degrees, but I think it's cooler.
Yeah, there's a little bit different in this little valley down here.
Yes. You know, November soccer, it's great to be there. Great atmosphere here where it is a little cool. Getting darker earlier where the lights are setting in, and I know my players always enjoy playing underneath the lights.
A little awkward shot by Brian Rodriguez, but looking to make something happen.
And have a decent crowd here. I'm going to say 100+ here supporting your Panthers. Again, those of you who are listening on FPSN, thank you for joining us. And if you're interested in a sponsorship, you can make a comment on whatever social media that you're watching, whether it's Facebook or Instagram. You can make a comment in the comment section about wanting to be a sponsor, and they will reach out to you. Or message them through Facebook. A direct message through Facebook, and they will get back to you immediately. And we have basketball season coming up, and they do a great job of bringing you the game. So even those away teams who are traveling over the mountain to come to Franklin, if you're not able to and you'd like to continue being able to watch the game and not miss anything, feel free to put a sponsor in also.
It's a really great program that we have, the FPSN, you know, be able to broadcast our games. These older folks that can't get out, the weather, you know, I mean, you can't beat that. I know a lot of years, if you weren't at the game, you didn't know what happened.
Exactly.
So it's been a great addition to our Panther family.
And they get to hear people like us commentate.
Yes. Yeah.
But we know you have a volume button, so if you don't like it, you can always lower that volume and just watch the great video that is brought to you.
West trying to work it right. Luis does so strong since he's dropped back in the mids. That's been a great move for him.
Absolutely. We talked about that in the last few broadcasts that Luis has played really, really well from that midfield. Luis trying to take a shot there. Just off to the right side will be a goal kick for the Falcons. But, yes, Luis has I know beginning of the year, Coach K was kind of worried about his work ethic, but he started bringing that up. And then when Solomon went down, we needed some help in that middle, and he moved Luis back, and Luis has really flourished there.
Yeah, watching last week's game from up here in the Bird's Nest, I told him earlier today it was one of the better games I've ever seen him play, where he was involved all around, not just in one aspect, not in the attacking side, but he was involved in the defensive third. He was in the middle third, and and that's what you need, especially you get a heart like Solomon Espinel to go down. You need somebody to fill that spot. And he's really he's took to it, and that's what you want.
Ooh. That was Aaron with a try to clear it with the head. We got to the foot of West Henderson, but they weren't able to get too much on that shot, and Isaac's able to corral it. Nice punt by Isaac. But, Coach, Luis would not be able to move back to that midfield if you didn't have guys who could come up front and play like a Jacob Martinez, Isaiah Roots, who moved from a winger up front. So, it takes a village, as they always say, and as you have guys who can play multiple positions, that's just going to make your team better.
Yeah,
but
Isaiah Roots is one of them for a junior, and you can put him in any position.
Looks like we have Pablo taking this free kick here. See if he's going to try to find a head or try to put it right on the goal. Flicked into Isaiah Roots. Oh, very nice save by Maccabee.
Nice look.
Very, very nice. Well done. That's when you're going to have to remember later in the game to see what the scoreboard is, because that easily could have been 1-0 Franklin right there.
And Pablo can drop those. He's got a foot, and he can drop those balls. But looking for Isaiah there, and it was pretty. It's just right to the keeper's hand. All right.
And as we're talking about Solomon Espinal going out and being injured, I always said when you have a player who goes down, it takes everybody else to up their game to be able to compensate for him. It's just not going to be one guy. And joining us on the air now is former Franklin Panther goalkeeper and an all-conference player, Trevin Talent. Welcome, Trevin.
Thank you. A little late, but, that's what we have dads for, to fill in for us when we're late to broadcasting.
And Franklin's taking a corner. Luis got a head on it, who unfortunately not on goal.
Yeah, after what I've seen so far in the 10 minutes of being here, getting Luis involved a lot, which is great. After watching the West game last week, I noticed number 23, their right back right here. If Franklin is smart, a poor goal kick. Isaiah Roots gets on the end of it. If they're smart, they're going to go after 23 plenty of times if they can't help it. Because I was watching it with another former college soccer player, Sam Conway, who played a very good left back, right back role for Franklin for a bunch of years, and he kept calling him the coach's son because he couldn't understand it. There's one time where he was all the way up there and let the center backs high and dry and had an offsides, and the coach comes in and takes the center backs off. So hopefully Franklin looks like they've been possessing and attacking well so far. Would you agree with that statement, Coach Sheets?
Oh, absolutely. The first few minutes feeling out, but definitely they've outpossessed West. West has had a couple of good looks that they have not been able to put on goal. And Franklin has had a few looks themselves, and Maccabee, the keeper for West, has been up to the task so far. But, yes, I definitely like the way the game is going right now for Franklin. I think they're kind of dictating the pace. And, having played in the first round, keeping them off that board and letting your team score one early would be huge for Franklin.
Oh, and especially if you're playing a team that you've already played twice this year, being able to control the game and not even give them any hope, per se, that they're in it after, a tie and a win, I believe, against West this year?
Correct. Ooh, nice.
Oh, good save and a nice shot.
A really nice shot by Ulysses and a great save. Ooh,
that was
no
a foul.
Call there. No call there.
And Noel takes a shot. That's frustrating. Looked like Noel got cleanly taken down with not much contact on the ball, if any. But another good save by West, another good opportunity for Franklin.
Absolutely. Still might be nice to get that first one on the board so the guys can kind of relax a little bit, and West can say, oh, no, here we go again, because as you said, a 3-3 tie earlier in the year and a 2-1 defeat probably not even a week ago when they had senior night. Maybe just over a week ago. But, yes, if Franklin get that first goal on the board, and West will be saying, uh-oh.
Oh, most definitely. And I will say something I just noticed, their keeper stopped taking their goal kicks after a couple mediocre ones. So that's something big. I remember my senior year I learned how to take goal kicks, and it's big to be able to have that extra defender up there in case Franklin tries for a good counter with their forwards like Luis and Jacob. Looks like Luis able to win the ball, might be able to get it.
And there you said something on that right side. Luis challenging number 21 there.
Yeah, 23 is going to be the guy we got to hopefully attack if Franklin wants to.
I think Coach Brewer of West has him playing that side because usually you come down the other side, your power side where your right foot is, but it looks like Franklin will be happy to try to come down this side. Long throw in by Caleb. He gets to do it again. Last time he was able to find the head of Isaiah Roots, and the keeper made a very good save. So hopefully something like that will happen again, minus the save part.
Looks like another chance, another header on frame for, looks like Jacob Martinez there. I will say, after watching West keeper the past couple of games, if anything's low, he's very good at getting to it. But when Franklin beat him is when they put high shots on frame. Now, granted, Ulysses' free kick was a world-class free kick.
Without a doubt. There's not many keepers, if any keepers, that would save that.
But it seems like his biggest thing is he'll get stuff that's around him and low, but you got to get it high, and that's where he has trouble making saves up with it. Looks like Ulysses should have another opportunity at a very similar spot he had last week. See if he'll try to get it on frame or, yeah, especially with where West's keeper's lined up. He's lined up very high right now. And, he did get just enough of a hand on it this time to save it from going out. It almost led to another opportunity for Franklin.
Was that Noel on the outside of that?
Yeah.
Just missed that header?
Mm-hmm. I honestly thought it was out before he tried to get it back in, but it looks like
they are going to discuss it. Our green shirts tonight, our officials are wearing green. They try to wear a color that's contrasting to what's on the field. And again, your Franklin Panthers are in black. West Henderson is in white. West Henderson's keeper's wearing red, which usually wouldn't happen here. But the Panthers are wearing black, so he's allowed to wear that red. And Isaac Jennings is wearing his gray, which is also a contrast color to West, but pretty close. And West is coming down on the right side. They'll be awarded the corner kick. And I know Coach Kalazic has worked hard on these set pieces, corner kick defense, so hopefully it will come into play here. Again, some coaches go with a zone, some coaches go with a man-to-man. It looks like Franklin's going to man up here, try to keep their player away from the goal. And a long corner kick's going to go all the way through.
Yeah, Franklin, I've had to watch a couple of their games. I know when they played North both times this year, corner kicks were the difference. Set pieces and not staying up with your man caused, I think, all three of the goals that North scored versus Franklin this year were off set piece and corner kicks.
Correct,
so
yeah.
I think they've had to learn the hard way on how to defend those. Looks like Ulysses should have an opportunity to give a ball to, looks like Noel over here showing good speed. Able to bump 13 for a chance on it. Looks like it was off right as well.
And it looked like a handball.
Well, looks like for the quick throw. Trying to get in behind the defense.
And West able to clear it.
Brian with a good settle. Should have a drop pass to Aaron. Aaron with that unfortunate handball. Had all the time in the world, but brought it back and made contact with his hand.
West with a real quick free kick here, trying to set it down. Got a ball in the box.
Oh, very good opportunity. None of the other midfielders got back, and that's what Isaac Jennings looked like he's yelling right now. And West was ready for that ball.
And that was number 10, Corey Lanning. He's the one who scored the goal last week against the Panthers with about 6 minutes left in the game to make that a 2-1 game. But the Panthers were able to hold on senior night and defeat West and help secure this 12th seed in the playoffs.
Looks like a good through ball by Noel. Jacob gets a touch on it. Doesn't know if he'll be able to get to it or not, though.
And if you saw right there, number 16 wasn't even playing the ball. He was just playing the man.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to jaw with Jacob because he was looking right at him when they were running down the field side by side. They were having eye contact. Looks like the goalkeeper for West is taking his goal kicks again. Looks like Luis is able to win it. The ball bounces past Jaden Pevia. But Isaiah Roots with good effort to at least, well, looks like win a throw-in for Franklin.
And they go quick, trying to get it back to Jaden.
Oh, Jaden Pevia wins a corner. Looks like he had a pass opportunity, but the West number 13, I believe. Hard to tell from here. 13, their center back with a good clearance. And another corner kick opportunity for Franklin.
And Ulysses will be taking this ball. Sends one in towards the top of the box.
Looks like Pablo's going to try to get on the end of that. And kicks it out of bounds. Yeah, it's always weird playing a team 3 times. I know we did it a couple times when you were a coach. Smokey came here, I think, once or twice for a state playoff game where you guys had to play them again. And it's interesting because you think, like, especially if you beat them or you had the winning record, you think it'll be a piece of cake. And then when it's a state playoff game, it is considerably different.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we had Smokey one round here, and it was a tight game like this going back and forth. And we took Edgar Chavez took a free kick from about 25 yards out and went right through the keeper's hands because it was wet. Jaden trying to get on the end of this.
Looks like he has a chance. It looks
and
like
he does! Well done, Jaden Pevia. Well done. And the Panthers take a 1-0 lead. Let's see that replay.
Yeah, Jaden Pevia had a very physical fight for that ball.
And here's our replay ball sent in. West tried to head it. Oh, Jaden got a left foot on there. Be able to beat the keeper. Panthers up 1-0. So right now, West Henderson's thinking, oh no, here we go again.
And that's a guy who hasn't scored a crazy amount of goals this year for Franklin. So I know he's had some opportunities. They've been trying him up forward more and more often this year. And that's a big-time play right there. He fought to the end on that ball when it looked like it was just bouncing straight to the keeper and able to get a last-second touch to get it by him.
Big goal for Jaden. I believe a sophomore.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And like you said, has been playing up top a little bit more. Usually was a midfielder, but I know talking to Coach Kalazic, Jaden's a hard worker, comes in and with a lot of energy and was able to beat the keeper on that to give Panthers a real big 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I think there's something about that PV bloodline. They just hard workers and compete all game. But Jaden Peavy probably wouldn't want me to mention this, but I remember watching a couple games his freshman year. He was playing forward for the JV team, and there was one game they were playing Smokey, tied 2-2, and he gets a wide open look just like that kind of, and he just blares it wide. And we gave him crap about it for a couple weeks or so, but great way to progress and have great poise to finish that opportunity.
Ooh, Isaac was really close to being out of that box there.
Yeah.
But he knew where he was able to set his feet and get that, corral that ball and then send it outside.
And if I'm being honest, that's an opportunity that I think if West keeper would have came out on the goal that Franklin had and got the ball just like Isaac did, I don't think we're looking at a 1-0 game here. So good job on Isaac on taking the assertive or being assertive and coming out and getting that ball.
And just to touch on Jaden again, I know last week here against West, every time he was involved in a play, they seemed to call a foul on him. Or if there was a play where he got fouled, they didn't call it. So I know that's going to make him feel good to be able to get that goal and give the Panthers a 1-0 early lead in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I took a couple looks back at the broadcast to see if they had a better angle than I did from standing on the sidelines. And some of those calls, I'm pretty sure Jaden got shoved with 2 arms, and
yes,
they called the foul on Jaden.
They sure did.
Very interesting.
That's Noel coming down the left side, was able to corral the ball, and West, number 21, able to knock that ball out of bounds. And 21 is Urban Villaforte.
It's like Caleb able to head that ball calmly to Luis. Luis tries to send it in, wins a
there
corner.
Was a touch. Definitely, definitely sounded and looked like there was a touch on that.
Yeah, I'm almost positive I saw a little strap or tape fly off his shin. But it looks like it'll be a goal kick for West, unfortunately.
So 18 minutes left in the first half. Your Panthers are up 1-0. I'd like to thank you for joining the broadcast on the FPSN, Franklin Panther Sports Network. Again, if you are interested in sponsoring any games, we got an upcoming winter season coming up with basketball. You can send them a direct message through whatever you're watching this through, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, and they will get back to you. And everything that you can do to help our Franklin Panthers athletics would be greatly appreciated.
Oh, my God. Ref called a throw-in for Franklin for a second, but it was definitely off Jacob Martinez. I thought they were making one of those makeup calls for a second there. They'll do that sometimes. I don't know if it's really in the rule book. I don't know if you're supposed to or not, but I've noticed refs will Kind of throw a call another way if they thought they made a mistake. Looks like Jacob Martinez takes a far shot. Comfortable save for West keeper. Oh, that was Ulysses.
And Trevin, on a night like tonight, when it starts getting a little bit later and a little bit wetter, what's going to be keys for these keepers?
I'd say the biggest thing is technique. I've talked to Isaac plenty of times about this because he'll probably be the first to admit that sometimes he kind of rushes through his save just because he knows he can get to it. But technique is the biggest thing. Making sure your feet are planted right, making sure you're getting low, pretty much everything Coach Vargas has taught him for the past 4 seasons. Just make sure you do that right, because when you make those mistakes, that's when you start to lose your footing or lose your hand placement, and that's when the ball can get by you.
There was a shot by number 9, Woody Green, the top goal scorer for West. Didn't get too much on it. Isaac's able to make the save and keep the score 1-0.
It's like Caleb steps up and gets an unfortunate touch. Looks like 9 should have another opportunity to shoot. Pablo with a great block, though, to stop the shot from going at least on frame, although it looked like it would have been a comfortable save for Isaac. At least he's trying to create something here up the right sideline. Fortunately, ball gets poked away by number 4 for West.
Ooh, not a very good ball there with Jaden in between him and number 13.
And honestly, if I was the West, I'm surprised they didn't drop it back to the keeper there, but I'm curious if that means they don't exactly trust their keeper with the ball at their feet.
Yeah.
For Ulysses?
Throw down there. Long throwing from West. Franklin able to head it out.
I'd like to see a little bit more midfield presence there. It looked like some of the midfielders were getting sucked in and just standing right next to each other, and kind of let a good opportunity for West to get right involved at the top of the box right there. That's something when I've talked to a lot of the midfielders, especially now that Solomon Espinal is injured, knowing their positioning. I mean, these are young players. They don't always know exactly where to be on the field at times, especially if they're moving from spot to spot. Brian's played wing a lot this year. Luis Torres has played a lot of forward. If they get their positioning down, this formation and midfield, they just work hand in hand. But I've noticed sometimes when Franklin has had problems, the midfield gets sucked in and too much space in the middle for West to just operate.
Westelwater to throw in off of Noel.
Good head by Caleb Pevia. Brian has a chance to head the ball back to a Franklin player. Luis tries to settle it, trying to create something once again. And he manages to create something out of nothing there for Franklin. A nice little chip pass up the sidelines, which West saves from being a Franklin throw-in as well. Some nice soccer there for both sides. West sends a pass up, looks like right in the midfield. Number 7 for West, making some cool passes. Sends it into 9, who takes a shot. Looks like Pablo once again on the end to deflect it. Aaron Jennings has the ball moving up the field. Looks like he finds his way out of bounds, though. Should be another West throw.
And Trevin, we went about 30 to 45 seconds there with the ball not touching the ground, and I've talked to Coach Kalazic. He'd much rather have our guys keep that ball down on the ground. I know they got down 1-0 early to North in the game here, and it seemed like every time they touched the ball was up in the air.
Oh, a bad touch. Looks like it'd lead to an opportunity for Jacob Martinez. Once again, West not looking for the drop. If I'm Franklin, I'm playing more aggressive on that. And ooh. Eric.
A little overzealous
Yeah.
there.
Eric sends a through ball he's probably trying to do, but hits it straight to the keeper more or less. Jaden able to get on the end of it with a smart pass to Ulysses. Ulysses has Eric on the sideline. Eric tries for that pass again and more or less has the same result.
Eric's just trying to get ready for his playoff football game on Friday.
Yeah, that's that kicking the ball up in the air that Matt doesn't like. Looks like a through ball. Looks like Isaac's going to come out and get it. Once again, wins it, and looks like it wasn't a foul. Definitely not, but he's in a bad position here. Luckily, Aaron's able to step up and save it for him.
Yeah, if that ball gets up in the air and over his brother Aaron, we're not sure where that ball would go.
Yeah, but Isaac did the same thing in the last game versus West, able to win the ball really well in the air. Isaac, a big dude, and he will definitely take players out if there's anyone in front of him.
Kind of a silly foul right there to give West a chance of a free kick here. Out from about 25 yards.
Yeah, I definitely would not want that.
Looks like number 9, Woody Green, on that ball.
So he sends it in. Looks like a head by Pablo to keep it from going near Isaac.
And West will to throw in here. See how far they can throw. No, they decide to come out top with it.
Smart drop back pass. Looks like the ref almost got in the way. Number 1 for West. Sends it back out wide. Looked like Eric got sucked in a little too much right there. And Aaron Jennings with a good pass. Sends it upfield. Jacob Martinez might have a chance at this. Number 13 for West. Able to make the best he can out of 2 crappy situations. Looks like might have been a foul there on Eric. Yeah, it seems like some West players were complaining about a shove. And should be a free kick for West from about the sub spot.
Something I noticed last week, what Eric likes to do on those is get right in front of the ball and start counting off his steps to kind of stop West from going too quick.
Yeah, it's a smart thing to do. Unless you're down, it's a smart thing to at least get in front of it. I know sometimes when Franklin was playing North, they'd get in front of it a little too much, and the ref would have to come out and take 10 steps, and that can waste time. But when you're up, you don't really have to worry about that as much.
True.
Looks like Eric's able to win the ball. Jacob Martinez has a chance on the sideline here. Gives the ball back to Eric. Looks like it should be a Franklin throw. Also a Franklin sub.
And those of you joining in right now, something new to our telecast. We have a coach cam. That's Coach Matt Kolazic and his son Jacob. Jacob is Matt's assistant coach, and you can kind of see what he's going through. Even though a 1-0 lead doesn't seem very comfortable, but in a 1-0 game, you'd much rather have the 1.
It'd be awesome to get Coach Matt's reaction to a goal or something. See if he's one of those managers who just, jumps off and gets all excited in a goal, if he's calm and collected during it.
Also on the sideline, you saw Coach Juan Morales, the JV assistant coach and varsity assistant coach. You see Solomon there, who had his ACL surgery a few weeks ago, here supporting his team. Coach Ken Lane in the picture also.
Looks like there's a foul for West. I'm not quite sure what happened there.
Looks like Isaiah Root's going to be able to sub on the next dead ball.
Yeah, and looked like it was Juan that subbed in. Yeah, Juan Marino subbed in as well. So it looks like Franklin's trying to get some subs in at that midfield, give their guys a break. Okay, looks like that should be a comfortable catch for Isaac. He goes down with it. Usually that's something you see in the second half. But
yes, second half with 10 minutes left, not in the first half with 10 minutes left.
Looks like another big punt, but no one up there for it. If I was a Franklin forward, knowing how far Isaac can punt that, I'd be pushing that back line as much as possible.
Playing
good touch by Noel. Ooh, good header by 21 for West. Looks like Luis Torres would have had an opportunity there. Brian able to win the ball back after errant header. Trying to hit it back out wide to Eric. Eric kind of slips and loses it.
Fall. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, that's something you got to be worried about. When you're trying to get to a ball, you don't really you're not really aware of taking those slow steps so you don't fall, and you'll slip on this grass sometimes. Okay, looks like another sub. Isaiah's on. Looks like, can't really tell from here who exactly went off yet. Looks like it was Noel that went off. Looks like Jacob actually is moving, to a well spot at the wing. It looks like Isaiah's playing a little forward right now. Able to win the ball. Looks like he's trying to get it up to Eric, but it gets shielded off by a West defender.
And Trevin, as this game goes on, it looks like more and more guys keep losing their footing. So that field's going to be a little slick. And, even though it might be easier to beat the keeper up, it might be smart to keep the ball on the ground.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Especially if you can get a shot that can kind of bounce sometimes. This ground will bounce on you. And if you can get a low-driven, bouncy shot, sometimes those are the worst things to deal with on this grass.
So, Trevin, what do the keepers have to do to keep their gloves dry, their gloves ready to make a save?
Usually you are wiping them off against your shirt as much as possible. And then if you have good latex, you're wringing them out. You're just twisting your fingers and wringing them out because it will definitely get wet. But I know Isaac has a pair of game gloves and a pair of practice gloves for that exact situation.
Ooh, long throw in, Luis with a header.
It looks like he gets
and able to score. Yes, sir.
Throw in by Eric. That's an assist right there. And they finally find Luis on that header they've been looking for.
And that's a huge second goal. A huge second goal for the Panthers. To go up 2-0 with 8 minutes and 16 seconds left in the first half. Here comes a real long throw by Eric. Luis goes untouched. and finds the left bottom corner of the goal.
Yeah, that's interesting right there because West did not look very organized on that throw-in. I feel like if you're playing a team like Franklin and you see them have long throw after long throw, you got to tell your defenders that it's pretty much going to be a corner kick. They were not organized at all. There was 2 center backs sitting right next to their keeper and just a free look for Luis Torres.
Something I always used to yell all the time when we play on the
Highlands Field?
all the narrow fields,
Yeah.
which was almost everybody in the conference. You had to play everything like it was a corner.
I remember specifically Highlands was the most narrow field I think I've ever played on. They tried to build that thing into a side of a mountain, and they ran out of real estate. Pretty much right where your 18 box ended was right where the sideline started.
But I remember your junior year, I believe you had a shutout at Highlands.
Yeah. I got one of those emergency starts.
You
was
got
fun.
one of those, you got to the field and said, we got off the bus and, hey, you're starting.
Yeah. Happened a couple times that year. But, I mean, this Franklin team knows that feeling too, you know. It's all about the next man up mentality with these guys. I remember especially with the teams that you coached, that's always how it was. Someone got hurt, someone wasn't there, the next player just stepped up and usually performed pretty well.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier with Solomon. You know, big player goes out, everybody has to elevate their game. It's not just going to be one person to replace them. It's going to be everybody.
Yeah, and I think it's big for a lot of these players. I mean, I remember particularly my junior year, like you gotta be selfless. You gotta be all about the program, like you used to say. You know, you might not be starting now, but when you get your opportunity, you gotta be there for the team. Pretty much give them no doubt that when you're ready, you can make the plays that you need to. And I think that Franklin's found that out with a lot of the guys they've subbed in this year. I remember specifically Jaden Pevia last year, freshman, and he came in and just got more and more playing time by proving he could play. And there's some guys that have definitely done the same this year for Franklin.
Oh, nice stop by Caleb. Give that ball out to Luis. Looks like they're going to work this left side. Maybe switch it. Oh, drop back to Caleb.
Looks like he should have Jacob up on the pass, but actually finds a very
finds
good through
Luis.
ball to Luis, who
Luis
gives
with
up.
a long switch to the other side of the field.
It's like Eric.
Looks like Eric's on the end of that.
Able to hit it up to Isaiah. Isaiah tries to get it back to Eric. Looks like West should be able to shield it or pass it to the sideline, then pass it up. We'll say Franklin is almost at their best when they switch the ball, and I feel like that's the first switch I've seen today. And there's a couple guys, especially now that Luis is playing further back up at midfield, he can definitely hit that switch pass. That's nice to see from Franklin. Good head by Pablo once again. And I remember their sophomore year, a couple defenders graduated that year, Jacob, Klodzik, Ari Rios. So they had some new faces come up. And I know Pablo, when they were in this 3-back system, they were saying Pablo was going to be the center back. I was very curious how that was going to go because when I played, I remember Pablo playing an assortment of positions, but never quite defense. But asking guys like Isaac, he loves having Pablo back there. And I think Pablo is an all-conference defender. And I don't know if he did win all region, but I know for the fact he was all conference this past year and probably going to acquire some more hardware this year as well.
Absolutely. Their back three are three of the best in the conference, and I'd put them up against anybody else.
Oh, most definitely. No, I remember Caleb Pevia came up my freshman year. I was clamoring for him to get some play time after watching him practice. We suffered a couple injuries on the back line. A couple guys left the team, and he came up there in the last 3 games of my season. I think we only allowed 1 goal in 3 games, and there was a penalty. And Caleb Pevia was definitely a big reason for that. Was able to come up as a freshman and just give great minutes. It's like a ball gets by Jacob, able to save it, but looks like it might set up a West opportunity. Number 5 gets past Caleb Pevia, who's put in an unfortunate spot, and definitely was a foul by Franklin right there. But not a foul you don't mind taking at times. Oh,
Actually,
never
they called
mind.
that foul on West. If I'm Coach Brewer, I'm not agreeing with that call.
Yeah,
But as a Franklin Panther fan, we will take it.
most definitely.
Home field advantage?
Yeah, hopefully. I feel like home field advantage is the field. I remember my senior year, like we would go somewhere, not have the best game because they could play their turf ball that they always like to play. But the moment we got back to Franklin, it was a low-scoring game, which was great for our team that year because they were not used to playing on our grass, mostly grass.
Our manicured field.
Yes. They were used to that long ball stuff, and they just couldn't do it. If we just played high and played aggressive, we usually played great defense in those games. It's like Luis with another opportunity up the sideline.
Well, they come here and play on grass and play on a little bit wider field and also a little bit longer field, and it usually threw them off.
Yeah, and especially the biggest thing I think is just how it's not flat. Those little through balls you try to sit on turf fields, they just glide. But if you do that it's going to bounce, and you got to have a lot of skill to be able to corral it after that.
Caleb with another long throw in here.
Yeah, you like to see one of Jacob or Ulysses kind of push that corner there. Looks like Caleb able to send the ball back in. Looks like Christian Chavez might be able to get there, but a good deflection, or clear, excuse me, by number 13 for West. Isaiah Roots was able to win the ball and take a touch. Looks like Eric might have an opportunity for a shot. Looks like he does. Tries to get the pass off to Isaiah. And Isaiah
And he
gets
scores!
it in. Great pass by Eric for his second assist of the game.
Great two-man game there between Isaiah Roots and Eric Munoz.
And this is the perfect way to end a half, I'd say. Being able to nab 2 goals in the last 10 minutes, that's huge.
And Trevin, you always remember me. I always wanted to win the last 5 minutes and the first 5 minutes of the second half. So right there, being able to put a third goal in is huge.
Yes, no, Franklin did it last week too. Ulysses able to get that free kick before the, I think, the last 2-3 minutes of the second or first half. Gave him a
Correct,
2-0 difference.
And now I can say usually when they have a 2-0 game, whoever scores the next goal ends up winning, even though that didn't happen last time against West. But I sure hope that happens this time with the Panthers. And with the way they're playing with confidence and doing the fundamentals, it bodes well for them.
Oh, most definitely. No, this is probably the best I've seen this Franklin team look in a while this year. Well organized on all sides of the ball right now. Looks like Luis getting a little touch happy here. Hasn't lost the ball yet, but there we go. I like to see him get a ball off there. I mean, dangerous part to be playing the field. Now West has a good opportunity to maybe set up a shot. Looks like number 9 might have an opportunity.
And really, with a 3-0 lead, he does not need to be doing that. Trevin, you know how some teams, once they get down, they might not play within the rules, and they have nothing to lose, so they might play a little bit harder. They might foul, and in the playoffs, it'd be horrible to lose a player. So Luis needs to get that ball off his foot because it's been working in the first half, and they need to keep doing that.
Oh, most definitely. I've talked to Luis about that a couple times. I remember one time I kind of made a little joke on broadcast saying that was a Highlands play of his.
That's much better.
Oh, looks like Isaiah should have a good opportunity here. Number 13 able to catch up and might be able to find Chris Chavez.
Oh, unlucky right there. Well done by Isaiah and Chris, playing a little two-man game there.
Yeah, I will say Isaiah as a forward, he's almost a pass-first forward at times. He's not the guy who's exactly looking for the shot because he can probably get a teammate involved for a better look at times. Looks like Jaden Peavy might have an opportunity here. Number 13, all over the field for West right now. Even though he's a center back, came very high on that right side to clear that ball out.
He's definitely sideline to sideline, which might explain why number 23 does play right back for them.
Yeah, and I just watched number 23 drop right there. Looks like Isaiah has a good opportunity here.
Oh!
Looks like a foul.
This should be a card if you ask me. I would definitely want a card. Unfortunately, he's telling him no more, which means he can do it one more time before he gets a card.
I was Franklin. I'd maybe relax a little bit. I mean, I know there's 40 seconds left, but give yourself the last scoring possession of this game.
If he's walking this off, he really should stop the clock right now.
That is true,
because it has to be now on the whistle, so he really should be stopping the clock.
If I was Luis, I'd be looking for Jaden Pevia coming in. Not really anyone on him.
There's a whistle.
He can
Luis
give a
up on
low-driven
this.
pass. Looks like Jaden should have an opportunity for it. Oh, almost got the head in there. Looked like glanced off Jacob Martinez's head. Looks like she'll have 10 seconds for a West goal kick and not much more. But I definitely would have looked. Jaden Peavy was all alone at the top of the box. A little ground pass to him would have been perfect. And that'll be it.
And that will be your horn. End of the first half. Your Franklin Panthers 3, West Henderson Falcons 0. A really good first half for the Panthers. As Trevin mentioned earlier, might be the best half of soccer that they have played. So we'll now have a 10-minute halftime. I don't think Coach Kolazic needs to change anything. I think he's going to tell him to keep the intensity. 1 or 2 more goals would be great. Definitely have to keep the ball off your foot so West can't come and, as I like to say, whap you. So we will be back in 10 minutes at halftime. Your score is Franklin 3, West Henderson 0.
Located at 461 Highland Road in Franklin, Carolina Junction Power Equipment is your local stop for lawnmowers, blowers, chainsaws, weed eaters, and all parts and accessories. Carolina Junction Power Equipment is also your local power sports dealer. They sell Can-Am side-by-sides and ATVs, plus have a full service shop for all of your power equipment and power sport needs. Give them a call at 828-369-9655 or come by today to see the largest selection of inventory around.
We're coming for everyone this year.
Hi, everybody, and welcome in to another night of Franklin Panther football. Yes, complete.
But it's good to just go out there and win.
Sports Zone is your everyday low-price sporting goods supplier. We have the sports gear every athlete needs to be successful, from cleats, equipment, and protective gear to complete uniform sets. We even offer screen printing, laser engraving, and embroidery, as well as sublimated printing right here in Franklin. Don't race out of town to find the performance gear you need. We've lowered our prices throughout the store to give you the opportunity to shop local and score big. Come see us at Sports Zone.
And welcome back to Macon Middle School. We're about done with halftime. Got about 35 more seconds of halftime, and your Panthers are leading 3-0 against West Henderson in the first round of the NCHSAA soccer playoffs, the 3A soccer playoffs. We do have some stats to show you, and Trevor, what do you think about these stats?
I'd say it's very evident of how the game's gone so far. I think both teams have done a decent job creating chances, but Franklin's made the most of their chances. And I know that's been something that's plagued them past couple seasons, but every time they've had an opportunity, they've at least forced West to make a save, while West has definitely not done the same.
And I'm looking at this as a former coach, I'm looking at shots on goal, 8 out of 13, which I like, but I really like 3 goals with 8 shots on goal.
No, that's big. I mean, West has made some good saves, but Franklin's made enough shots on goal to where not every keeper's going to make every save. They've been able to put 3 on frame.
And if this score holds up and Franklin's able to move on, we have a bracket to show you, the 3A bracket. Here's our 3A bracket, and you can see Franklin and West Henderson on the right-hand side there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. Franklin would, if they hold on and win this game, would get the winner of Concord and Montgomery Central. Concord is a 5th-ranked team, so unless there's a major upset, it looks like Franklin would be traveling to Concord. If Montgomery Central has the upset, then Franklin would be home on Thursday. And there's the whistle and the kickoff to the second half. It would be great if Franklin can hold on to this, maybe even get another goal, and Coach Kolazic might be able to make some subs, because in the playoffs, any minute that you get rested will help you for the next round.
Oh, yeah, no, it was definitely. Try to get these guys just play their game. And if they do, get an opportunity to get subs. It's going to be awesome. But just, these are young guys. I mean, not many of them have been in a state playoff situation like this before. Probably not against a team they've played multiple times, and definitely not in a situation where they've been up 3-0. So you just hope they're ready for it. I mean, a game like this can turn into a tight game very quickly. Just need to make sure they're just doing what they've been doing the whole game. Looks like a nice shot and a good save by West. Looks like a great shot. I couldn't tell if that was Luis or Ulysses, but had to force West to come off his line and make a good save right there.
I think an unexpected shot almost caught him off guard. Caught the Maccabee off guard.
Most players, you aren't normally taking shots from that far out, but
especially with an off foot. It looked like an off foot anyway, left foot. That most likely was Ulysses. I know he likes to use the left foot a lot.
Looks like number 8 able to get past Caleb Peavy and get a pass in the box. Looks like another shot opportunity, but nicely deflected by Pablo.
And West is calling for a touch. Would like to have a corner.
They're getting it.
And they give him a corner.
I definitely think it was a handball before that, but that ball did look like it bounced off Pablo. Not the best start so far. I mean, I will say West had very good opportunities. And I don't know if you want an opportunity specifically where number 9 hit it right past the post was probably the best opportunity for either team all game.
Yes, they had 2 good looks in the first 5 minutes of the game, probably about a minute and a half apart. Kind of a short corner looking for number 12 there.
Looks like number 23 is stepping up to get this ball for West, but it bounces off him and doesn't go out of bounds, but a errant pass sends it way out for a goal kick for Isaac Jennings. And if I'm Isaac, I mean, hasn't really got to make a bunch of saves, but he knows what he's doing. He's a senior. He's been here before. I trust this defense and him to keep this defense organized. Trust them to make a very easy half for Franklin, hopefully. Looks like a decent goal kick. Looks like Noel just backed off and let a West player come to that. Can't be doing that right now. Got to keep the metal to the pedal on the metal.
Pedal on the floor, pedal on the metal.
Yeah, something like that. I know the phrase. I just can't really think of it at the moment. Whatever you got to do, just keep that gas going, because when you let up in a game like this, that's how you let a team right back into it.
Come on, Andreas. Here, kitty, kitty.
There's a difference between being conservative, maybe not being 110% aggressive, and then there's a difference between not having 100% effort just because you're up 3-0.
And Trevin, you're talking about earlier that Isaac hasn't had to make too many saves, and his jersey's kind of clean. As a coach, I don't mind that at all. I'd much rather have my keeper's jersey clean, because most likely you're going to have a clean sheet there, especially with the way his defense is playing.
Oh, yeah, no, most definitely. Just got to worry about sometimes getting – oh, looks like Jake Martinez an opportunity.
Ooh, left-footed right to the keeper.
Yeah, you just got to make sure you're still warm as a keeper. There's some times where you don't get to do anything all game, and then they get one shot, and you got to, try to make the best save you can after 40 minutes of standing around. It can be hard sometimes.
And it's funny you said that, talking to Coach Kolazic. It seems like one time a game, some kind of fluke goal goes in, like last time against West. There was a cross and could have been offsides, and all of a sudden it went in. I know another time Isaac went up high against Pisgah and saved the ball, and it came right down to a Pisgah player's foot. So, kind of strange things happen, but with a 3-goal lead, if it happens now, you're still going to be okay.
Yeah, no reason to get your heads down or anything, I know Isaac's definitely gotten unlucky a couple times this season. Looks like a Noel, yeah. That's what we were talking about right there. He couldn't get in front of the ball last time and got beat by number 6, I believe, for West. But Pablo and Aaron are able to get in on it and clear it out. Good step up by Caleb. Unfortunate touch leads straight to a West opportunity. Looks like they have a nice counter here. Luckily, their wing isn't able to get the ball. If I was West, I would have got that ball. I would have been looking for that switch. Number 6 was clamoring for that thing.
And I was able to talk to Coach Brian Brewer before their game last week and before tonight, and he really didn't know if West was going to be able to make the playoffs, and then they were, and they're coming right back here. So, Trevin, you know how high school kids can think. If they think their season's over, they may not be totally into this game, and if that's the case, we'll definitely take the 3-0 lead on West right now.
Yeah, that, or they've already played this team and, have lost against them once and tied them once, and they might not think they're up to the challenge. That can happen sometimes too, but I think Franklin is just very confident in themselves and playing their best soccer they've played all season.
And very important this time of the year to be able to play that best soccer. Hopefully there's still something in the tank, and I'm going to assume that they will be playing Thursday. I can't see them falling apart and
number 9 with a decent pass.
This game.
Yeah. Number 9 with a decent opportunity right there. And I will say, so far this half, it's been a lot of West so far. I'd like to see that change, and a good shot opportunity. Isaac with a great catch, though. Way to corral that.
And we talked about that last game. Some people wondering how come the keeper will catch a ball and fall down. All time management. A few seconds here, a few seconds there. Next thing you know, you've taken another minute or two off the clock.
And I know for Isaac, sometimes it literally is just making sure you have that ball. He's had a couple opportunities this year where he's caught it and let it bounce back out, and it's led to goals for opposing teams.
Good shield by Eric. Eric gets a throw and looking for Jacob Martinez.
Good clearance by number 21. Jacob Martinez almost on the edge of that. We're going to watch that big throw by Eric. Luis was able to get a goal. I think the second goal of the game was Luis Torres' head off an Eric throw-in. We just had a former player come up here and talk about how these throw-ins aren't exactly legal by the standards they used to be held up to. But the rules have changed, and Franklin's definitely taking advantage of them.
Really long throw-in. Overthrew his player, Jacob Martinez, there.
Pablo able to step up and force a risky pass there by West. Looks like Caleb's able to get on the end of it and push the ball upfield. That's something that Caleb has gotten so good at in his years playing, is being able to calmly have the ball in his back line with his body to the goal and then turn around and turn it upfield and give Franklin a chance to create some offense. Looks like a sub for West. Trying to get a different attacker up there, see if they can nab a goal here.
West not going with a long throw-in, a short throw-in, trying to play it back to the number 9 who threw the ball in.
Good step up by Caleb Pevia. Luis Torres trying to turn around, but it's the ball taken from him by number 9. And just sent a ball into number 7 for West, but he's able to not get a head on it. Number 13 with a acrobatic header.
And there's a whistle. Looks like a handball they're going to call. Franklin was hollering for that one.
West was not very happy about that call.
Franklin decides to play this free kick quickly.
Yeah, looks like Caleb Peavy is limping a little bit. That could be something to monitor. If I'm mad in a 3-0 game, at least for the second, I'm probably subbing him out. You don't want to risk further injury right now. Good hold by West right there. West's keeper.
Shot by Jacob on goal. Keeper up to the task on the save. That's Maccabee for West.
Looks like a step up by Caleb. Tries to get a chest of it, but bounces off to the left and goes out wide. Throw in for West. Caleb Pevia again able to get the ball. A little unfortunate. Bounces straight at a West guy. Kind of playing with the air a little too much, like Matt doesn't like, but able to win it. Luis Torres with the opportunity, but kind of dribbles it straight into a West player, and looks like he fouled him as well, but maybe because he had the ball, he's allowed to do that. And then I think he got a payback call right there, because it looked like he got fouled right in return, and then the ref swallowed his whistle.
So, Trevin, your senior year when you were in the goal, did Coach Kolazic have a 3-man back or a 4-man back?
We actually had a 4-man back that year, and if I'm being honest, I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that we ran it, of course, when you were coaching, but more importantly, we had an influx and a revolving door of defenders that year. We tried so many people at defense, so many people left the team. It was chaotic back there. But I will say our 4-man back worked very well. That's why I was really skeptical of the 3-man back when I first heard it, because we didn't allow many goals my senior year. But this 3-man back has worked very well for this team, especially with the talent they have. And it asks a lot of the defenders. It really does. But when you have guys that have all been worthy of an all-conference selection this year, that's something you can get away with for sure. And I will say it has created a lot of offense for Franklin these past 2 seasons.
It has, and you know, in the playoffs you got to be able to put goals on the board, but you also got to keep them off. And you know, it's something new that teams aren't used to seeing with only 3 guys in the back there. So, you know, if more teams start putting that in, then there'll be ways to beat it. But right now, teams are going to have to probably do something differently offensively, because it looks like Franklin is going to be able to at least compete at the midfield and keep the ball off their backs.
And I will say, it asks a lot of the wings, but if you have great midfielders, this formation runs perfectly. We run a very similar formation with the team I play with at Western, and when our midfielders are there and they're on, we can do whatever we want. But if we have like a okay game from the midfielders or they're not communicating, that's when a good team can kind of take advantage of the holes that this formation has and possess to pretty much their heart's content. Looks like Aaron able to have a physical win of the ball right there. Drops it off to Eric. Eric kind of playing with it. Tries to set, looks like, Brian up, but Brian unable to get to it. And it did look like a Franklin throw, but West keeps possession. Eric able to get in front of the ball. Gives it to Brian. Brian turns around and gets it poked out by a West player. Wins it again. Kind of looking at what to do here. Not seeing any passes. Very true. Not much off-ball movement for Franklin there either, which is a gripe I've had of them for a while now.
And the first 10 minutes of the second half, kind of even. I'm going to say West probably has possessed the ball a little bit more than Franklin, but has not been able to cut into the 3-0 lead.
And there's a couple players I know for sure I've watched, especially the North game I was here to broadcast. And there's some guys that if you get 100% effort from them all the time, that midfield and more specifically just the team as a whole just plays great, because they're creating chances for their teammates when they get stuck with the ball. And they're also like seeing who's available on defense to cover. But when you do not move in this formation, it is dangerous. And it looks like 2 guys collide right there. Isaac's able to make the save, though, and make up for it. Great play by Isaac to react quickly to his defenders, kind of not communicating the best they can.
And just like you were talking about, a little lack of communication there with Pablo and Aaron. They have to be able to clear that ball so Isaac does not have to come up and make that save.
And that's Isaac's bread and butter right there. I don't know if I've seen a better 1v1 saver than Isaac. And if I have, it was probably Vargas. I remember that Smoky Mountain game you were talking about specifically. There was a one-on-one where I don't know what happened, because we had such a great defense back then, but somehow some forward was wide with just Vargas. And he gets up there, gets big, and made a perfect save
that
game.
That player was Chris Henson. He had over 20 goals that year, probably 26, 27 goals that year. And if Sam doesn't make that save, I don't know if we're going to win that game.
Good little cut by Ulysses, trying to get the on that ball. Looks like he should have a pass out to Luis. Luis coming up for a Western's keeper. Coming out. Looks like he might have a chance, but great save by West. It looks like a good opportunity for Franklin again, but a smart center back able to get back and stop the ball from going in.
Looks like we have a player down. No, just a little dejected. He's not hurt. Just a little dejected there, not being able to get that goal past get the ball past the keeper.
Yeah, great save by West, and then a good opportunity, but just not enough power on that by Noel. And Noel's a guy who, despite his small frame, can definitely get good power on the ball. Looks like Caleb might have a chance to send this ball back in after a deflected throw-in. Looks like a shot opportunity by Jacob, which is going well over the post.
And, Trevin, maybe it's just me. I'm not saying the guys aren't playing as hard as they did in the first half, but it looks like they're playing a little bit more relaxed. They might not be making that first movement as quick, and I think part of that is with a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. I mean, I also think that there's times where this team just plays great, and there's times where they don't. Haven't really deciphered what the reason for that is or isn't yet, but I know I've definitely seen it sometimes with Franklin. They're great when they're great, and they're meh when they're meh.
And if there's anybody who can figure out high school players like that, you would be a millionaire.
Yes. No, I've known these guys for the past 3-4 seasons. I've talked to them game after game. I try to talk to them at halftime, see what they're going through, see what they're thinking. And sometimes it just works, sometimes it just doesn't. Another kind of miscommunication right there.
A missed touch on Aaron.
Yeah, but Pablo with a halfway bicycle clear there. Looks like a good header by West. Looks like an opportunity for number 9, deflected, but Isaac's able to react to it accordingly with a comfortable save for him. I will say, after that 1v1, Isaac did get a little nicked up, and as a keeper, you're coming, 50 miles per hour at that ball.
Looks like a chance for Isaiah Roots.
Gets a head off. Looks like West will be able to get to that ball before he can, though, unfortunately.
Oh, well done by the West defender. Instead of giving up a corner, giving a throw-in. Well done.
Looks like it'll still be a corner, but great effort, though.
Bad angle up here. I thought it went out on the sideline.
And Franklin with another good corner opportunity. They also have Eric sitting there short if they choose to go that way. It looks like West sees what they're trying to do. I'd honestly just like to see another head on the ball. Franklin's been doing a great job of that tonight. Jacob Martinez sending the ball in.
Sends it to the middle of the box. West able to head it out.
Looks like Eric might be able to win it back. Jacob with another opportunity. He's going to try to send it back in, most likely. Another deflected clearance opportunity by West. Jacob looking for the drop to Eric. Eric probably looking for the pass back in. One's a Franklin throw-in after attempted cut move outside. Another big throw-in for Eric Munoz here. Eric sends it in. Looks like they're making Luis for a head. Goes right by Luis. Looks like Flatty also had a chance to shoot it, but unfortunately not able to do it. And also looks like there may have been a foul now that I'm looking at it. Someone probably used another West player as a box spring to try to get up for a header.
Not a very good goal kick for the West keeper there.
Oh, good pass out wide. Eric should have an opportunity to get the ball to Isaiah, or Jaden Peavia, excuse me. Looks like Jaden came in for Isaiah in that last substitution.
Brian was set up for the drop right there. He needs to communicate.
Way to cut off that simple pass there by Brian, force that long ball. Caleb kind of being a little lackadaisical with the. Oh, he's still
dead over here, Green.
Yeah, looks
there
like
was a whistle.
We can't always hear the whistle, but the players definitely should have. Looked like PV and number 9 for West.
The ball's coming way up here for a throw-in. I guess when the West player came down the left side, the ball had cleared the line. So that wouldn't have been a whistle. That would.
Oh! I guess that's something that can happen when you throw the ball in like that.
We wouldn't have heard a whistle. We would have had to hear a flag. So we definitely would not have been able to see that from up here or hear that from up here.
Looks like Brian got a little too sucked in right there. Not at that midfield spot like he should have been. Pablo able to clear it back out, unfortunately, to a West player. Jacob Martinez gets in front of the ball, sets up the drop to Aaron. Aaron has Eric out wide and kind of tries to loft it over a West player, interestingly. And West, with a little bit of miscommunication right there, tried to send the through ball, and it just bounced off the backside of 7, leading to a Franklin throw. I see some more movement for Franklin right here. No one's they're just kind of watching it. No one's getting open, and West is just sitting there and defending it pretty easily. Looks like Jacob Martinez is coming in now.
A real long throw by Eric.
Looks like a whistle. Looks like a push in the back. I think that's what Flatty got called for back when they had that corner kick back there, was a push in the back as well. So something that Flatty can definitely prevent. That's a simple and kind of dumb penalty at times.
And a new feature we're trying here, Coach Cam. You can see Coach Kolazic and his son Jacob and Coach Lane. Looking at them, you can't tell that we're up 3-0, but we are. And, Coach Kolazic's always thinking about the next game and getting better. And I'm sure he'd like to see the team that he saw in the first half, not the team that's kind of standing around watching right now.
Most definitely. I mean, the back line could be stepping up more and kind of taking away that space. The midfield right now, I'm watching Brian Luis just kind of walk back. I know it's 3-0. I know you probably are tired. It's been a long season, but I try a little more effort. It looked like a sub for Franklin delayed the throw-in.
Yeah, we tried a quick throw-in, but we had a sub coming in.
And it looks like Jacob Martinez is coming off. I can't quite tell who that is right there. Looks like number 18 possibly. Or 19? Okay. Yeah, Tomas, midfielder for Franklin. He's a junior now or a sophomore? Sophomore. Another young player for Franklin that usually gets involved with their midfielder rotation. Brian showing great effort to pressure West into a bad pass. Eric and Brian, two big body defenders, trying to get the ball back, but a little miscommunication right there. Yeah, sends the ball to Green, but unable to send it back in. Number 1 for West.
If I remember right, that number 1, Eli Clonch, is a freshman for West. Getting lots of playing time, getting good experience.
I was suggested so by the size, but he had a good pass right there, so. Looks like Isaac with a quick, simple goal kick. West kind of caught napping. Able to hit it out wide to Peavy.
And we're coming on 20 minutes left in the second half. That would be 3/4 of our game about done. Panthers still with a 3-0 lead. They were up 3-0 at halftime. Kind of going back and forth in the second half. Not playing as crisp as they did in the first half, but enough to keep the lead at 3.
And as frustrating as Franklin can be sometimes in situations like this, they usually will not get scored on opportunities like this from what I've watched of them. Even when they're not playing their best soccer, you're not going to have the opportunity to just put goals on them, which is a testament to a good goalkeeper and a great back line organized by Isaac there. So, just
and it looks like Coach Kolazic is making some subs here. Guys who don't play a lot are getting in and getting a chance to get some experience in a playoff game.
Yeah, it looks like Luis, the other Luis Flores, I believe. He's coming in at a wing spot. Looks like another push in the back by Flatty, and he should be seeing a card for this because that's probably about the 3rd time in the second warning for sure.
And here it comes.
Well, that was an eventful 10 minutes for Flatty so far.
Not something Coach K would like to see.
Yeah, especially for the playoffs. Looked like he. Yeah.
Slow down there, Captain.
West trying to play quick. Unfortunately, the clock is stopped on that yellow card. The yellow card means the player must go off, but he can be replaced. So still playing at full speed there, or full field, 11v11 still.
And, I mean, I really don't remember this personally, but how do the yellow card rules work in the state playoffs?
Same as the regular season, except if you get 5 in the playoffs, you are not allowed to come back and play.
Dang. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen for anyone.
5 in the regular season, and you have to sit out 1 game. But if you get 5 in the playoffs, then you are no longer allowed to play.
Looks like a good save by Isaac. A little awkward, but able to get to it. I think he, as a goalkeeper, I think he got to it and expected it to be a little further. It curved back in, so he just got a hand to it because that's all you need sometimes.
Actually, I'm glad to see that West is taking a corner. We'll get to defend this and work on maybe our Achilles heel from the regular season, see if our guys have learned something from the regular season.
Aaron with a great clearance out wide.
Well done. Nice little volley right there to clear the ball. Get the ball out of danger for Franklin.
23 for West, using his body well to shield the ball from Franklin. 21 with a lazy little pop-up pass, in my opinion, but looks like Isaac's going to be able to get to it easily. Aaron, an underrated thing that he just did right there, shielded the West forward. Gave Isaac time to come up and get that ball when he was comfortable to do so. It's a good opportunity for West here. Oh, great play by Aaron to get on the end of that pass. Number 9 gets a touch on it, but it goes wide. And Pablo clears it back out. They're trying to feed that number 9 any opportunity they can. And looked like a interesting little collision there with number 9, and looked like one of the Peavies.
I think that was Pablo, actually, number 5. Just good physical soccer right there. I don't think anything dirty was there.
Yeah.
And a good no whistle on the official there, because if they will whistle on there on Pablo, then that's going to be a PK for West. And I think that was a good no call, as both guys were giving it and taking it.
And that's usually not a call you try to give in the state playoffs. I feel like there's got to be that extra level of, physicality that you just expect from a state playoff game. You don't want to give up soft penalty kicks that change the outcome of games when it's win or go home situations.
Especially with two teams who are familiar with each other, have played each other now for the 3rd time in a year.
Looks like Franklin making another sub. Looks like Peavy is coming off. Can't quite tell who's replacing him because looks like they're sitting back there. Or is anyone replacing him? Because
looks like number 20 maybe, Christian Chavez.
Oh, Peavy was going up for the throw. Yeah, apologies. Aaron looks like kind of came a little sharp on that. Gives number 9 a chance to dribble straight at the goal. Number 9 has an opportunity for a pass or maybe a shot opportunity here. Great tackle by Pablo. What a perfect play right there.
Well done.
That
Well
was
done.
textbook.
And Isaac is Pablo's biggest fan right now.
That was an amazing tackle right there to save a very good opportunity for West. Looks like number 9 has another opportunity here. Pablo once again able to an interesting shot right there because it was almost in that area where you think it could go in, but it goes wide and Franklin has another goal kick.
Very tough angle for number 9 there, but again, he's quite skilled. That's Woody Green. He has 24 goals and 21 assists on the year, so one of the top players in the conference.
Dang.
Definitely, and he missed a few games with a concussion. So, yeah, his numbers are legit. They said once the first game back from the concussion, he had a hat trick. So, very good player, and it's a good competition for our defense to be able to, our back three to be able to go against him, because I don't know if you're going to see anybody better than that in the playoffs.
And I was going to say something quite a little bit different, to be honest. But I was going to say I feel like when you get in the state playoffs, you have that one guy when you and Kevin Sanchez were up here talking that there's that one guy for each team that you kind of remember that was a great player. But being able to stop a guy like that, great.
Exactly.
Looked like number 7 was a little off right there, but Franklin played it great nevertheless.
And we're down, closing in on the 15-minute mark left in this game. Again, your Panthers are up 3-0, 3 first-half goals for the Panthers. Again, playing West Henderson for the third time in the year.
Caleb able to dribble by number 7 perfectly. Just dribble the ball back up the field again. Still has it and sends a good through ball to CJ. CJ tries to get a body in front of it. It was unable to do so, unfortunately. Western's keeper comes up and hits it upfield. Looks like Luis is trying to stick with it, but the ball goes up to Caleb Pevia. And it looks like an interesting free kick from West. If I was West, I'd be a little disappointed in that.
Oh, no, you fix it.
Oh, so it's for Franklin. Okay. And that's more understandable because it looks like West had clear advantage there before the whistle.
And again, we'd like to thank you for joining us on FPSN, the Franklin Panther Sports Network. If you are interested in being a sponsor for the upcoming winter season with basketball coming up, you can put a comment or chance there for the Panthers.
And it looks like a goal. Oh, the ref's waving it off. Looks like they are going to call that collision with the keeper as a foul. Interesting call. I mean, from here it looked like they both came for the ball, but looks like the referee disagrees and said that West keeper had possession and they got kicked out.
So again, if you're interested in being a sponsor, you can message them directly through YouTube or Facebook, whatever you may be watching it on. And right now we'd like to thank all of our sponsors for being able to broadcast this game and several games in the fall between soccer and football. So thank you to all of our sponsors. And even if you're not from Franklin and you would like to sponsor because you have a team coming over and playing and you might not be able to travel with them, again, just make a comment or message them directly.
I will say with the last 13 minutes of this game, just Franklin keeps doing what they're doing, get some subs in, and they look like they're well on their way to a comfortable victory.
And Trevin, as you said, 13 minutes left. As a coach right now, I really want a shutout. I would love for the teams that we might be playing later in the playoffs to look and say, ooh, they just shut somebody out in the first round, because in the playoffs it's tough to shut people out. So right now as a coach, I would love for them to keep that 0 up.
Oh, yeah, and not only is a shutout awesome, teams and high schoolers specifically definitely look at max preps and see who they're going to face and be like, wow, 3-0, that's pretty good. They took care of business. That's what you like to see. But they might get a little more, weary of Franklin if that's the case.
Exactly.
Looks like Christian Chavez trying to challenge that. Almost gets on the end of it. Yeah, you can kind of see Franklin kind of setting back a little bit. Like, didn't really pressure that ball too much. Just kind of let West come forward with it themselves. And you are seeing a lot of guys who don't normally get play time. CJ. Ooh, looks like a collision there by Franklin and West player. Should be a throw-in for West, I believe. Aaron on number 9 once again. Looks like it was out, but they're just going to keep playing it and give Isaac the punt. Or are they giving him a goal kick? Okay. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I've played Isaac long enough. I'm pretty sure he's watched me do that. I think he was just trying to waste time there. I remember I played a travel game one year, and we were playing a heated team because we had a lot of similar players that we played the year before. And the refs weren't really telling me if it was a goal kick or a punt, so I just took like probably a minute off the clock trying to decide which one I wanted to do.
And Trevin, I just called up Max Preps, and I looked at that game in the bracket above us, and Concord defeated I forgot who that was, Mountain somebody, 8-1. So if the Panthers are able to hold on to this game in the last 11 minutes, hold on to this 3-goal lead, they will be traveling to Concord on Thursday.
Looks like they're going to face a team that had a really good performance as well. Great tackle by Aaron Jennings, but he looked like he might be down and injured. Hopefully it was just a slight nick up or something, or caught a cleat the wrong way, and it's nothing too serious. And that'll be a stoppage of the clock from the official as well.
Oh, I don't like him holding a knee, or is he holding his stomach?
I think he's holding a groin, to be honest. At least as much as it's awful, that's kind of what I'm hoping for.
So he may have been hit in a bad spot.
Yes.
Which reminds me of a funny story. While we have a break in the action here, we're playing a playoff game, and Riggy Hernandez, one of the better players in Franklin Panther history, he was on the yellow card, and he was going back and forth with another guy, and the next thing I know, Riggy's on the ground. Well, I come out there, and the referee said, "Coach, I think he got hit in a bad spot." So I get Riggy up, and I'm walking him off, and I said, "Are you okay?" And he says, "Coach, I had to go down because he was getting ready to give me another card." And sure enough, when I went back and looked at the film, I saw the ref reaching in his pocket till he looked at the ground and thought Riggy was hurt. So he did not get a second yellow, which would have put him out of that game. So Academy Award to Riggy Hernandez, and he was able to come back in and play that game, even though he did not get hit where the referee thought he did.
Yeah, that's usually something that Franklin does, that they kind of learn through whatever leagues they play in, and they bring it out to the field, and kind of gives you a competitive advantage. I remember one year, I think it may have been Liam Graham or someone, like got fouled right outside the box. He just kind of rolls into the box while the ref isn't looking. And when the ref saw like where he was fouled out, he gave him a penalty. So, sometimes being smart can lead to a good opportunity for you. It looks like Aaron Jennings is going to be coming off.
And looking out there, Coach Kolazic came out to, of course, check on his player, even though Lynette Gibson, our athletic trainer, one of the best in the state, best around, had come out and checked on him. Coach Kolazic had a few words for the center ref. And again, at this time in the playoffs, 11 minutes left in a 3-0 game, you do not want to get any of your players hurt where they're not going to be able to play the next game.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect to see Aaron Jennings come back in unless it was a dire scenario.
So as you're talking, next man up, so it looks like they've dropped Brian back some to play some defense here maybe. Isaiah Roots is back. So Isaiah's gone from being the striker to come back on defense. Again, well-versatile player and a very good, solid player for the Panthers.
Yeah, when I first got to see Isaiah play, he was honestly just an athlete. He played track. I'm pretty sure he did cross country. He was a runner. But slowly but surely, he's managed to refine his skills as a soccer player and become a versatile chess piece for this Franklin team.
And again, playing a non-traditional back three cannot be easy for a player to come from another position and play back there, but Isaiah's like you just said, a well-rounded player and a well-rounded athlete, and he should have no problems coming and filling in for Aaron Jennings.
Throw in by number 6 for West. Tries to hit it in the middle. Looks like he gets a decent shot opportunity, but ultimately not enough power to get it past Isaac Jennings. Another big punt by Isaac. Trying to find CJ up top.
Isaac's punts have been really, really well tonight.
It looks like he got it. He found his man, but an unfortunate touch led it to perhaps be a West corner or goal kick. Or
very
Franklin
dangerous
corner.
play by the keeper there. If that finds a Franklin foot, this game's 4-0.
Yeah, Isaac's made sure to tell me multiple times how he has I think 2 assists in his career off punts alone. It looks like Christian Chavez is setting up for a shot. Sends it a little wide. Tight angle to take a shot like that from, but, you're not going to get mad at a kid for taking a shot.
I've said on the broadcast before, I've taken kids out for not shooting.
Now, I remember you had that saying. I think you had some example of, like, the early days of coaching about how one of your players was, like, disappointing because he shot too much. And a bad goal kick by West could have been an opportunity for Chavez. West able to get back underneath the ball and gain control of it.
Yeah, we also say you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's very true. Brian able to get to his feet. Has CJ open. Finds finds him pretty well. CJ able to get to it, but unfortunately a West player there as well to poke it out.
You know, we've been referring tonight to our midfielders and how they have played, and somebody who always seems to go underneath the radar because he doesn't light up the stats is Brian Rodriguez. It seems like we always find him and play through him, and he's a calming force, and great things from Brian all year long.
Yeah, he's definitely, now that he's playing midfield, he's definitely more the defensive midfielder in this little pyramid scheme they run of 3 midfielders. But no, he usually plays further back and usually cleans up the messes that people don't notice. He isn't going to make the goals like Ulysses is or Jacob or whoever else is playing that midfield spot at times, but he's definitely an important piece to have back out there.
Ooh, Isaiah with a nice ball.
I know specifically Solomon Espinal, he was always talking about he was usually the midfielder that stayed back and played a little more defense just because he was aware of the situation. It looks like good opportunity for Franklin, but a foul.
Whistle there.
Brings it back.
I'm not quite sure what that official saw. Our angle must not be great because I did not see a foul there, especially by a Franklin player. Charlie going after the ball. Oh, maybe right there, that left arm. To me, kind of looks shoulder to shoulder.
Sometimes that ref see that elbow extend at all, they'll just call it.
I'm pretty sure if this game was scoreless or tie, that call's not made.
Yeah, most likely. Looks like Isaiah with the throw in straight to Juan. Back out to Brian, but it should be a Franklin throw.
Take your time, boys.
Seems like they're playing a lot more passive right now, just trying to look for feet, but that was not a pass that exemplified that at all. Another Franklin throw in, this time for Charlie throwing the ball. And he lets go of the ball right as he tries to throw it. Some players wear those gloves to keep their hands warm, and you'll definitely lose a little bit of grip on the ball sometimes. Looks like Franklin might have an opportunity here. Number 13 for West, able to calmly win the ball back. Good play by him. Now he's pushing up, gets in his own player's way, but that actually kind of worked to get a past Brian. And they send the ball out to number 9, but that is way too close to Isaac Jennings, who gets on the end of that.
We scored our third goal. We had Luis, we had Jaden, and who scored the other goal?
Eric. No, it was Isaiah. Isaiah was the third one. A pass off by Eric.
So as you probably heard us talking, Franklin's up 3-0. Goals for Franklin by Luis Torres, his 17th of the year. Isaiah Roots, his 6th goal of the year, and Jaden Pevia, which I believe is his first goal, maybe second goal of the year. He got us started on a basically I'm not going to say a 1v1 with the keeper, but he was able to fend off a defender and able to get one little last touch to beat the keeper and give Franklin a 1-0 lead, which they were able to double up, and then in the last 3 minutes of the first half able to score a third one, and that's where we stand still in the second half, 3-0.
Looks like there's going to be a keeper substitution at the next dead ball for Franklin. Looks like opportunity for West there, but number 9 loses his footing right as he's trying to take the shot. And Isaac with a great save.
That was a great shot by the West player. And let's see that save again.
Yeah, that was really impressive by Isaac. Those saves are hard to make sometimes. You're kind of coming out, watching the shot, and then jumping up and parrying it over the bar like that.
And West is taking a corner. Here's that instant replay here. Tough shot. A volley by the left footer. And Isaac able to punch that ball over the top.
Yeah, Isaac's been a very good shot stopper throughout the years, but this past, I'd say season for sure, he's definitely slimmed down and he's way more aerodynamic now, if you will. Because that's the biggest thing that separates the good keepers from the – looks like an offside for Franklin right there. That's the biggest thing that separates the good keepers from the great keepers, is being able to make those saves that you probably shouldn't make. And he made a save that some keepers probably definitely don't make.
And here's that save again. Not able, of course, to catch that ball, but just punch it right over the top. And outstanding save by one of the best keepers in the conference, if not the best. I know he's the defending keeper of the year, and he should get votes for that again this year.
I'm pretty sure Isaac, Vargas was all conference, Tomas was all conference, I was all conference, he was all conference. That's a string of probably 10 years almost of all conference keepers. So he's definitely continuing that lineage, if you will, of Franklin having strong goalkeeping.
And it's great that yourself and Sam will come and work with these keepers. I know Sam is the middle school head coach, but I know he also comes out and works with the keepers. He's usually an early morning guy. I know your senior year, I think he came and worked with you guys early in the morning.
That was definitely a change of pace. Waking up at 6 in the morning or 5 in the morning to get there before school to do goalkeeper stuff, but definitely helped a lot that year.
Yeah, so as you said, a great line of keepers, including yourself. And, you know, that was a big thing when I took over years ago as the coach. We had to build from the back up, and when you have solid defense, it makes your offense be able to relax a little bit and put some goals on the board, and that happened today in the first half for the Panthers.
It's a shame that, honestly, Isaac had to come out because I'm sure he's a guy who would love to keep his clean sheet going, but I'm sure Coach Matt doesn't want him to get hurt at all before the playoffs start, because especially with West playing as aggressive as they are.
Did we even mention our new keeper who came in?
It is
Luke Van Hook.
Luke Van Hook, yeah. He's been here for a while now. I'm pretty sure he's a junior. So he should have his opportunity next year. And Luke's a guy that is patiently waited, you know, played JV for a couple seasons. And we got him. They got Will to replace Isaac next season. So,
and now we could say that he's got some time in a playoff game.
That's very true. But I remember a game earlier this year, Luke had to come in for an injured. Isaac got injured on a play, and Luke came in and did his job just like you'd want him to. So it's big always to have at least a second keeper that you can trust. You know, I know we kind of got embarrassed with Riches because we had a year where, I mean, Tomas was our backup for Sam, and then we also had me and Mariano backing up Tomas the next season as well, which is always nice to have a bunch of keepers you can rely on / start.
Well, I always said the best case scenario for any coach is your backup keeper is the starter on JV. That way they're playing and they're used to seeing shots and getting playing time. I did not like having a keeper up on varsity who wasn't playing.
Yeah, no, I remember my sophomore year. That was definitely helped me improve a lot because freshman year when I first decided to play goalkeeper, I remember you said, you're like, if you want to make this team, try out for goalkeeper. And I was weary of my chances. So I'm like, I'll come out there. I brought some football gloves and didn't look good, especially taking shots. I remember I took a shot from Omar, and I had my football gloves, and that thing stung for a week. But it all worked out in the end.
And then I also remember, I believe it was your junior year, you had to play some field for us. We were down a few guys, and you came out. I believe you had an assist or a goal.
I had an assist to, I believe, Luis gave him a pass at Raven Gap, and that's how I got my assist, not off a punt, actually, like playing in the field.
And we're under 2 minutes left to go. Both teams still playing pretty hard. Again, you would hate to see somebody go down these last 2 minutes, so hopefully the boys keep it clean as we are 1 minute and 37 seconds away from moving on into the second round, where Franklin will be traveling to Concord on Thursday. Most likely that game time will be 6 o'clock.
Nice see Jaden Van Hook at his
Luke
Van Hook, yeah.
With a nice able to corral a ball and get a good punt.
There's a lot of Van Hooks around here, you know.
There are. So, again, on Thursday, your Panthers will be traveling to Concord. That game time should be 6 o'clock. You see Coach Kolazic and all the guys sitting on the sideline and enjoying seeing players who don't usually get in a chance to play in the first round of the playoffs. They're all pulling for each other, and that's something you need to see.
Panther fans, let's get up and cheer our Panthers on. 1 minute to go. Fans, 3-0. Let's go.
Looks like we'll have the new coach cam on, Coach Matt, for the final buzzer celebration I'm sure they're about to have.
This would be the time for the guys to grab the cooler and dump it on them.
Yeah, that's not fun. I've had that happen. It's fun in the moment, but then like 10 seconds later, either you're sticky or you're cold, sometimes both.
So we're at 34 seconds left. The referee winds the clock. I think Coach Kolazic's finally able to breathe now.
Yeah, sometimes I know I'm the type of guy who's kind of nervous to the last whistle. Not when I'm playing, but when I'm on the sideline and I know I don't have a control on it, just kind of weary to make sure everything works out well.
And I'm pretty sure this is Coach K's first playoff win. I know he has been in the playoffs before, but I don't believe he was successful in a first round. So
good catch by
nice save
Van
to
Hook
keep
right
the
there.
shutout. And that's going to be your ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Your Panthers 3, West Henderson 0. Panthers survive and will move on to the second round of the 3A men's soccer state playoffs, the NCHSAA soccer playoffs. They will be traveling Thursday to go to Concord.
And if you're, excuse me, sorry.
No, go ahead.
If you're unable to make that game, usually the Franklin Panthers Facebook page will stream the games on there. So if you can't make it out that long drive, be able to try to watch on there if you can.
Yeah, so congratulations to Coach K and the whole coaching staff and the Franklin Panthers players as they are going to move on to the round of 32. Cut down from 64 to 32, able to defend their home turf and beat West for the second time, West Henderson the second time this year, along with one tie. So congratulations to Coach K and the players. And again, we'd like to thank FPSN for all they have done for Franklin High School athletes and the whole athletic program. Any final thoughts, Trevin?
No, it was a great performance. That first half really carried them through, and hopefully they can recreate it in, Thursday?
Yes, correct,
yep.
Thursday.
Hopefully they can recreate the same thing Thursday and move another round in.
Yeah, so for Trevin Talent and FPSN, I'm Ken Neitz, and we thank you for joining us, and have a good evening.